So guys, where are you heading tonight?
We're at the Springbank Road out west, as far as the daylight will allow us to go, and turn around and come home.
And supporting Brian.
I'm riding in honor of Brian McGregor. Do you want me to spell my name too?
Yeah, please.
Brian McGregor, B-R-I-A-N-M-C-G-R-E-G-O-R.
And your involvement is because?
Because I am a cancer survivor. That's all I need to say.
It's been 10 years since 24 riders set out on the first Cancervive journey. Calgary to Austin, Texas. Chasing a dream and starting a tradition. Fast forward 10 years. September 9th, 2015. 31 riders pedaling from Calgary to Edmonton.
So this is a very special year, and I'm glad we were able to keep it going, and hopefully for many more years.
This 10-year legacy started with one man's audacious idea.
Well, this isn't a great time for me being here, but...
43-year-old Brian McGregor, father, husband, and now a recovering cancer patient, decides he should ride to Austin, Texas in a relay with a few friends to meet Lance Armstrong, a fellow cancer survivor.
I didn't even know how far it was from Calgary to Austin at the time I thought of it.
Over the next decade, many others with good reasons to commit to the rides.
I was hit with bone marrow blood cancer, bone marrow disorder.
Well, it's been a journey back to health. Is to prove to myself that, I guess others, that cancer's not a death sentence.
And many dollars get raised through Cancervive to promote survivorship in Alberta. Here's what Cancervive has helped create. The Wellspring Centre in Calgary, and a new one opening soon in Edmonton. Funded by the support of hundreds of riders and hundreds of volunteers over the past decade.
You know, they jumped in when Wellspring Calgary was just opening our doors, helped us to get that first start, and their financial support has really allowed us to continue to grow our operation since the moment that we began.
This year, more fresh faces and returning veterans to ride from Calgary to Edmonton. The trip lasts 5 days and takes us through the heart and soul of Alberta. Today we will bike 140 kilometers into Drumheller through the spectacular Badlands.
And expect now to start to see this string out a little bit.
This ride is happening just after the wrap-up of the Tour of Alberta. Pro rider Zach Bell sticks around to ride with us today.
So yeah, I was in town after the Tour of Alberta this year and decided, hey, you know what, this would be a good opportunity to get out and kind of share some stories with you guys and hear some stories from you guys, because some of the stories from you guys are just as epic as what I have in my back pocket. So.
Riders find their own rhythm, many working together in a group or peloton. Now here's a welcome sight.
Happy to see you.
A mid-morning snack will fuel the riders for the road ahead.
Thank you.
Well, it's nice. I think we're blessed with excellent weather. Coming from this part of the country, thankfully there's not 100-mile-an-hour winds either, so it's very pretty.
It's all right. It's a test for sure.
Up ahead, the Fast Kids. getting to our Drumheller destination well ahead of the main group. But at what cost?
From here, we're not going to make happy hour, so we're making our own.
You see, it's not the destination, it's the stops along the way.
This is what riding is all about.
It's a Cancervive tradition to find these out-of-the-way places. And we have a secret weapon.
Oh, I can smell a fire from a mile away.
Oh yeah, warmed up. Warmed up, boss. That feels way better. Way better.
Late afternoon. Lots of tired and happy faces.
Catherine! It was like, there's a bunch of us. There's like
I didn't know what to expect, but I'm happy to be here, and I'm thinking, gee whiz, day one, under my belt.
Before the lunch, it was another hill that was really hard, and I got off and walked my bike for a bit. Said I couldn't do it, had a cry, and then I said, no, I'm doing it, and then I got back on.
Day 2. Begin the day with a hearty breakfast. Outside, volunteer mechanic Cam is fine-tuning the bikes for a long day ahead.
Promise myself I'm not going to fall today.
Did you fall yesterday?
Twice.
Really? Whereabouts?
Just at the rest stops because I couldn't figure out my fancy new clipless shoes.
Back inside, volunteers going over the route. Keeping riders safe is #1 concern. We'll be biking the Badlands, 160 kilometers from Drumheller to Stettler. Cancervive! There's an option to ride it all or to do half. There's a forecast of sun later in the day, but we begin with overcast skies. They quickly turn to full-on fog as we gain altitude.
What was it like riding in the fog?
Well, it was kind of nice because I couldn't see the top of the hill, so I didn't. Made it easier.
It was like we were in Scotland. The beautiful fog, the fields. It was fantastic.
What goes up must come down. A quick descent to the Red Deer River, then across it on the iconic Blériot Ferry. This so-called ferry is just a platform being pulled by a wire, but it gets us across and onto the challenging hill out of the valley.
That's a pedal the whole way.
I like to ride my bicycle. I like to ride my bike.
Out of the Badlands and into the nicer weather.
Look at her. She's a rock star.
She is a rock star.
Awesome.
Lunch stop, day 2, in the middle of nowhere, Alberta. Somewhere between Drumheller and Stettler.
Hey, Cindy, what do we got?
You got spolumbos, or you got hamburgers, you got meat sandwiches, you got wraps, there's fresh fruit, there's salami and cheese.
And remember, we got personality serving it too.
Should have a grin. How's that? Absolutely perfect.
Is this the day you're going to remember in February when the winds are blowing and the snow is snowing?
Yes, I am. And my butt's hurting? Yes!
Beautiful day.
It's a gorgeous day. So why do you do this ride?
Why do I do this ride?
Up
Because of all the people you meet, supporting Wellspring. I love to ride. So much so that I actually joined the board this year.
It's been a long day in the saddle, but it's soon coming to an end in Stettler.
find a bar, but this will have to do.
But the day's not over for Bill Darling. He just doesn't know it yet.
Well, guess what?
Tonight after dinner, he finds out there's been a bounty on his hair. He's challenged to shave his head for an extra $5,000 to be donated to Cancervive. Day 3, and a perfect morning, leaving Stettler and heading to Camrose. Today we'll be ticking off 145 kilometers on these flat prairie roads.
Is a carousel of color, wonderful, wonderful colors. The world is a carousel of color, history, comedy, fantasy. There's drama and mirth, there's old Mother Earth.
I want you on the GoPro, get tight, there you go, I can see you. Excellent.
Miracle of imagination.
Having too much fun.
These wonders untold are ours to behold in the funny world, the sunny world.
Oh, Darlene, that new bike is just ripping! Shred, baby, shred!
For this ride, I hadn't been biking. I didn't think that I could ever do 160K. I'd completely forgotten the power of the Peloton. Like being able to cycle in a group and everybody's talking and drafting and time just goes by and I'm like, yes, I'm doing the full distance. Super cool.
Lunch. Time to fuel up and catch up with the volunteers.
The cause is fantastic. I mean, we can't escape cancer. It's going to be there. So make it the best experience you can by supporting organizations like Wellspring who support people living with cancer, and the cause couldn't be more worthwhile.
I heard about Cancervive last year, being a warrior, so I rode the last day, and I swore if I was well enough this year that I would do the whole ride. So I'm doing the whole ride and loving every minute of it.
Finished it, 140, first time ever. Now
Personal
our bodies
best.
hurt.
I'm okay.
My body hurts.
Day 4 of the 2015 Cancervive ride from Calgary to Edmonton.
Excellent!
And guess what? Another perfect morning. Today we will travel 105 kilometers from Camrose to Leduc on flat, quiet roads. It doesn't matter if you finish first or last. It's the journey that makes this trip so special and the friends you meet along the way.
So what's for lunch today?
Pizza.
Leftover pizza.
Mm-hmm.
So Nuke, how's this day going?
Until we meet again. John Staffier was my big brother. He was diagnosed with cancer, but you know, for him, he told me the symbol for crisis was the exact same symbol for opportunity, and he made his cancer diagnosis an opportunity to help others and to start an amazing center called Wellspring Calgary, where 100% is donated to those people suffering through cancer. He's not here today, as cancer came back with a vengeance, but his legacy lives on through these wonderful people that continue to support his dream. And I can't wait to see Wellspring Edmonton opening its doors to some more people who need those hugs and need that opportunity.
And who are you guys waiting for?
Our dad.
And who's your dad?
Randy Trent.
don't know how to make it better. I mean, I know from a logistics standpoint, there's things we can tweak, but from a people standpoint, the caring, the consideration, the teamwork, the sharing, everything, it just makes me want to almost cry every time I talk about it. I get emotional. Get emotional. I lost my dad in April. He was a big Harley man, so it's for him, legacy of my dad. So, yeah.
I think your dad would be pretty proud of you for doing this.
I think so too.
I don't know if I'm quite ready to do another 100K, but I'm certainly ready to ride in tomorrow morning.
Sunday, day 5, a group ride into Edmonton to finish this remarkable journey. There are some new faces today, cancer warriors and friends who have been invited to share the accomplishment of finishing this ride together. The end of this ride is in sight, the location of the new Wellspring Centre, soon to be open in Edmonton. But this is not the end of the story.
Well, you know, I think Cancervive has gone through an evolution, and I would call this Cancervive 2.0. Because, you know, the first rides were these rides to Texas or Philadelphia or San Jose. And this is a new event, you know, a ride around Alberta, across, you know, through Alberta, keeping it local, and it's a totally different format. I think Cancervive was on its last legs, and people like Heather and Norbert and Peggy revived it and have taken the lead and have run with it, and it's fantastic, I think.
I don't know, I just love this group so much. It's just great.
It was all good, right?
Yeah, it was fabulous.
Thinking about getting involved? It's easy. Just get involved. Raise some money, turn those pedals, have fun. It's that simple.
With some fine skills in my pocket and a small sense of adventure, I will build myself a rocket and lead this self-imposed indenture. Do my very best to hasten and to make ready my departure. Sail across a sea of stars with the true aim of an archer. I won't look back and want to worry, just ahead to peace of mind. Watch the hassles and the hurries and the bad times fade behind. Venture out and find my fortune, watch my futures all unfold. Live life to its full proportion with my heart and with my soul. And if I live to be 100, I may never get it right, but there'll be no small consolation for heaven fought the better fight. Have lived so long in anger, I've run too long in despair. I would now prefer to linger as my purpose becomes clear. Trace my pathway with one finger, give myself an equal share. I'd no sooner be a prisoner than fall victim to my fears. And if I live to be 100, I may never get it right, but there'll be no